Hi, welcome to a fresh video here on the Blue Abroad YouTube channel. There's some positive news coming through on the injury front for 2025, which is a great thing to be thinking of and a great thing to be talking about. I just saw an article that popped up in the Herald Sun, which was actually transcribed and given to us by Up the Baggers on X. If you're not following, you must be if you want all the Carlton news. And there's a really interesting update here, which I think we can expand on when it comes to Charlie Curnow and Sam Walsh. And that is that there is a chance that they could be playing round one or round two at the latest. So basically, the news is that Charlie is pushing hard for a potential round one return after an exhaustive block of training in recent days. He had two significant training sessions on Friday and Monday after what is reported to be a seamless recovery from the surgery on his right knee a fortnight ago, where he removed a screw which was no longer required from an old injury. And the way that it's written here, it's suggesting that he's pushing for round one. If he's not 100% round one, he's considered a lock for round two against Hawthorn on the 20th of March. Sam Walsh, apparently, from what I'm reading here, is recovering very well from the hamstring and should be right for round one. That is consistent with what we've seen in the injury reports with Sam Walsh. It's always been a round one timetable. The Charlie news is a surprise to me, if I'm honest. And the reason is, logically, I'm thinking he hasn't done much of a preseason as far as we understand, or it's been interrupted. We know his history with knee injuries. And I think all of those pieces put together painted a picture to me that this was something we're just not going to be risking until a little bit later in the season, maybe after gather round. That's where my mind was going. But if this is true and Charlie Curnow is ready as early as round two, that's going to be a solid boost for Carlton. Sam Walsh is always going to be a boost for Carlton. I guess the question begs, do you risk them? Do you need to push them? Is this something that we can identify as an issue that we had in 2024 when it came to managing injuries and making the decisions? I'm not sure. We don't have the full details, and I don't think we will get the full details, because I think these two players in particular fall under a category where you don't need to give the external world the full details of their recovery. You would prefer Richmond to be preparing for Charlie Curnow, even if he wasn't going to play, because any time spent on Charlie Curnow would potentially be wasted time. So it could fall into the box of, we won't tell you everything because there's a competitive advantage. But, we all did a team predictor on the Blue Abroad show on Monday night. And, no Charlie and no Walsh was the assumption for round one. The idea of both of them playing makes the team look immediately better. And I guess it would be a nice boost to have them all ready for round one. Having said that, the margins for error are so small, and there is potentially a long-term play here when it comes to long-term in this season. So I guess it begs the question, if they're right to go, are they definitely right to go? You put your hand up. There's a lesson that can be learned here from the past when it comes to bringing players back too early. Like, different story if it's later in the season. You need to get a win to stay in the finals race or the top four race. Obviously, every player wants to play every game, but you balance that up with what's going to give them the best chance of playing the full season. So, heart and mouth stuff with Charlie, if I'm honest. I was a lot more worried about Charlie than what I was excited about him, just because sensitive topic around his knees. He's had so many issues in the past, and then he's had a few issues in the preseason where he's needed to go get a cleanup or have a minor procedure. But if these reports are correct, there is a bit more of a positive light being shined on the Charlie Curnow story, and we may get him back earlier than we had initially guessed. And Sam Walsh, it's been a very low-key story, very much under the radar, no risk. And if you look back to last preseason, where he pushed a little bit too hard, he hurt himself, had to have the back surgery, things like that. Maybe there's a lesson that's been learned there. Ultimately, I don't believe we need to rush them. And I just hope that the right decision gets made, because they are two players who definitely make a difference to winning and losing a game. They are prolific players, and you earn the right to have that title based on the level of play, and they both play at such a high level. So fingers crossed. That's the update. What are your thoughts? What did you think when you saw that both might be a chance for round 1 or at the latest round 2? Share with us in the comments below.